Hello, I'm Marcia. I'm a creative artist. I specialise in oil painting and I also tutor in art. In this video, I'm going to show you how to oil paint on canvas. For this video, I have already laid out an array of colours that you commonly see in nature. That's your blues, your greens, your yellows and your browns. We also have a natural sponge, an old rag, various size brushes from very small to very large. So, oil painting on canvas. What I did to begin with was I prepared a canvas, which I primed, left to dry, created a wash, and then started creating the basic lines and strokes for the structure for my oil painting. After which I established what was my foreground, my midground and my background, and then I established what was my focal point, which is in this case the tree. And then what I did was to establish with the different areas where in the bold and pick out bold colour to represent each area. After which I done that, I got myself a small brush and a palette knife, two palette knives, basic palette knife and a one with a more of a pointed end to create contrast and bold areas of colour, as in the trees here and the skyline here, to make the areas stand out. I also used dry brushstroke marks to create the foreground where the grass was, and stippling sponge marks with a natural sponge to create the shrub leaf like on the small tree and the same on the large tree. I used 3 or 4 size brushes to build up the rest of the painting. Depending on where I was painting, I would use a dry brush stroke mostly, and sometimes I would also use my fingers to blend in the textures, whether it was dry paint or whether it was thick paint or whether it was liquid paint with more linseed. I used my fingers and my hands and the brush to build up and blend the textures together. So I started off by painting very lightly and very dry first of all, and then building up very slowly and then building up a second layer. I'd say that this is more like a second layer. If I was to continue, I'd probably carry on adding a few more layers to gradually pick out and define the areas that need to be defined and establish a bit more drama and intensity in the colours. And that is how to oil paint on canvas.